Yeah. It's that one song. Like, spread around with your rails, nigga. I just go in like the go is gold. Never took a class, I just know I know it. I just know I know it. I know I know it. And I gotta be the greatest of all time. Of all time. And I gotta be the greatest of all time. Of all time.
What are you doing? Hey, what's good, people? I'm the host here, Wood. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. Nobody in the live stream. That may or may not happen. That's really not what it's about. I'm getting ready to talk about a little album. Actually, I'm doing a test. As you can see, I just had some technical difficulties with the program that I use, kind of showing some images from another setup that I use here on the on the channel, but which was boxing, so that's why that glove keeps coming in, but it's clearly not in here. But what I wanted to do was take a few minutes to talk about a little bit of music, and then, like I said, I'm kind of testing out my green screen type stuff, and let's jump into it. Here you go again. The boxing glove. I think I got to get my computer cleaned up in general. I think it's running a little slow. Let me make sure my volume is even working. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, like I said, this is a test, man. I'm not trying to do nothing groundbreaking in here. One of my passions has always been music, so to finally for technology and everything coming along to be able to enable me to do what I want to do and talk about what I want to talk about is just lovely. This is much better for me to be here on my channel talking about the art and the stuff that I love versus hollering at some of my partners who are never gonna go and check out anything that I'm talking about. And that's one of the dopest parts of music, television, movies. One of the dopest things is having a circle or individuals to chop this stuff up with. So that's my little spiel on that. But the album behind me is from a brother named Benny the Butcher. You might be familiar with him. He's part of the Griselda family that's out of Buffalo, New York. West Side Gun was kind of like the introduction of the collective, and then West Side Gun's brother, Conway the Machine. So and then Benny, I think for me at least, the way that I was the way that I came onto this group was kind of in that order. But the ironic thing is that Benny, kind of bringing up the rear, so to speak, is actually maybe the strongest dude in the crew. And it's dope to me. Really quickly, some thoughts on the album. I'm not gonna go into too many points, but I believe it's his 8th studio album, which is crazy because I've only been hearing about the kid for maybe a year or two now, year and a half. And with today's music business and the way content is released or projects are released, it's hard to keep track of what's a proper album, what's a mixtape, what's anything. So that's what when I looked into it, a couple of the reviews that I read through or skimmed through indicated that this was the 8th studio album. I did just check out Tana Talk 3. I was when Tana Talk 3 came out last year, I really wasn't aware that it was like I said, a proper album or an official album. I thought it was a mixtape, quote unquote. And then this week I saw earlier this week I saw the Crowns for Kings single featuring Black Thought, and I was like, oh, let me go check out that Tana Talk 3. And that's how out the loop I am. I can get, like I said, I'm early 40s, creeping into mid 40s, and I get around the stuff when I get around to it, whether it be television series, movies, whatever. But anyway, you might stumble across something that I'm doing on here, something that I'm discussing on here, with everything being tagged and whatnot, and maybe I consider myself the plug for certain types of entertainment talk, boxing talk, sports talk. So the name of this album, The Plugs I Met, definitely kind of goes along with one of my mantras, in terms of doing what I do. But like I said, the name of it is The Plugs I Met. I'm not going to dig in too deep on, I believe that was part of a bar from a song on Tana Talk 3 from last year. But I'm just going to talk real big picture. It's only 7 cuts deep. I did do some traveling in the last 48 hours, a couple 5-hour rides, and was able to kind of take it to the lab a little bit. And last week and earlier in this week, I did download the from Amazon Music. I didn't download it illegally. But it's different. You don't necessarily pay for all the music that you listen to nowadays if you have a subscription service of some kind. But through Amazon Music, I did download the Tana Talk 3. So kind of just a quick contrast between those two projects. I found Tana Talk 3 to be way more, I rocked with it a lot more tougher. I like the production on it a lot better. I found the soulfulness in a lot of the production, the kind of lyrical content was sharper for me. I thought it was a better album, but regardless of that, The Plugs I Met is now here. 7 tracks, including the intro skit. But Crown for Kings, which is the second track, since it's only 7 songs, I'll give you the titles. Crowns for Kings featuring Black Thought is the second track. After that, Sunday School featuring 38 Special and Jadakiss, produced by Derringer, who's pretty much he's been the main producer with Griselda as they've come along. Dirty Harry is track 4 featuring RJ Payne and Conway the Machine. That's produced by Derringer and Beat Butcher. I'm not familiar with Beat Butcher, but number 5, Took the Money to the Plug's House, produced by The Alchemist, one of my favorite producers out there over the last 10 years probably. Track 6 is 18 Wheeler featuring Pusha T, produced by DJ Shay. And then the 7th track, 5 to 50, featuring India. I believe that's Benny's girlfriend or wife, his significant other, but that one is produced by Alchemist. And for me personally, Crowns for Kings with Black Thought and 5 to 50 are probably the standout joints on the project for me. The most stand out, or they stand out the most for me. Black Thought is just, the jump, and that's part of, in my opinion, that's part of this album, which I did a little bit of reading and found out that Benny Butcher got the guys that's the features on here. They happen by way of DMs on what's going on with my stream. They got the project together by way of DMs on Instagram. It's from what I understand. And but to see guys, I think I'm starting to see a lot of veteran MCs kind of really celebrating and praising Benny. And in my opinion, a couple years ago, I want to say, at least I think it was 2 years ago, on the BET Rap Hip Hop Awards show. Really nowadays, all I do is check in and see who did the ciphers. But Benny the Butcher's verse on the Griselda family cipher was just ill. I mean, he killed it, and that's when I really started taking notice of the guy. And with these guys being from Buffalo, prior to them, I can't recall too many artists who were making noise outside of the 5 boroughs of New York. So it's been, and I'm an underdog dude. If you listen to any of my sports takes and my boxing stuff, typically I'm rocking with the underdogs quite a bit in everything. So I've been, pretty fond of this bunch. The one question that I have thrown out there with them and their style of music, their content, is it really going to be viable in terms of sales, touring, and whatnot? Is it gonna, I don't want to say crossover, but what kind of lane can they really create with what they're rapping about, what they're talking about? When right now so many guys are doing it, it's a lot of vibrant energy and a lot of emotion and a lot of artistic expression and musical experimentation, and it's a lot going on right now that's doing really well when you look at some of the bigger dogs such as a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar. Those artists, if you look at their fan bases, they're bringing together the masses, very diverse following and whatnot. So I just wonder with a group like Griselda, what can they do to create their own lane? But they are doing their thing. And like I said, Benny is a guy who I think to fly the flag. The